My courageous fighting brothers, face your fears and follow me. We are the sons of the UMP.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, you champions? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, boys. 5 signs of a low testosterone. Hint, check your eyebrows, the unibrow, bro, which is something I love to say to women. You know, you look really good with the unibrow. Why'd you shave it off anyway? And I'll say that with a completely straight face, and they'll always fucking laugh. It's a great line. But guys, high testosterone is really important to keep girls attracted to you. It's important to build muscle. And most importantly, it's important for you to feel good, to feel healthy. I'll tell you, I just had my testosterone checked and it's 800. And I've been feeling fucking great lately, man. I feel like I have tons of sexual energy. I don't get tired during the day. I just feel vibrant and full of positive energy. And that's a sign of high testosterone, which I guess we could say would be number 6. A sign of low testosterone is when you don't have energy. So we're going to get into these 5, and I want to let you know that you can improve your testosterone significantly simply by your thinking process, your diet, your lifestyle, and exercise. And I did a podcast, I think it was probably like a year or 2 ago, called How to 7X Your Testosterone in like 1 week. It was a really good episode. So if after listening to this, you want to go check that out, just search testosterone 7X and then my name, Mark Singh, and it'll probably pop up. I think I recorded it in either 23 or 24, but it was a really good one. So let's get into the content. All right, boys. This one should be the most obvious, but when I look at a guy and I see fat around his midsection, when he's got the muffin top, or he looks like a chicken McNugget with tits, or a potato standing vertically with the bathing suit on it, I can reasonably assess that he probably has lower testosterone. This also goes into man boobs. Have you guys ever heard of this thing called gynecomastia? I think it's called, but it's basically like a clomastic in your nipple that gives you basically man boobs, and you get those kind of like knobs in your nipples. That's because of too much estrogen. So oftentimes our diet, which is usually the culprit of these kinds of things, will give us too much sugar, will raise our insulin too much, creating that fat around our midsection, and then giving us things like man boobs and gynecomastia. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but it's kind of like knobs, and those can be reduced. I will tell you, when I was in high school and I was eating basically fucking donuts every day and drinking Pepsis nonstop, I kind of had the knobs a little bit, and I went to the doctor and he's like, dude, you're eating too much sugar. You're jacking your estrogen, lowering your testosterone, and that puts fat on the body. What gets rid of fat? What gets rid of fat is high testosterone as well as building muscle. And to build your testosterone, you can start by building muscle, which will give you more of that testosterone, build more muscle, reduce the fat. The best burning fat machine on your body is by building muscle. And also, abs are made in the kitchen, which basically means when you cut out sugars, when you cut out simple carbohydrates like breads and pastas, the fat goes down, the muscle builds up, testosterone builds up. Your voice drops, you become more masculine, you become more unapologetic, and you become more attractive to women. Number 2, thin, dry skin with really small lines through it. This is a really big sign of low testosterone. So when you see somebody with like flaky skin and they have premature aging lines like crow's feet really bad on their face, this is a really big sign. When you have good testosterone, you're essentially healthier because your body is meant to thrive on testosterone, but there's so much that lowers testosterone. Not only our diet, but also microplastics, chemicals in such things as the shampoo that we use, the laundry and dishwashing detergent we use. These all have chemicals in them that basically are hormone disruptors, and they lower your testosterone. So when you clean up your act, not only your diet, but also those chemicals around you, your testosterone is going to raise and you start to get healthy looking skin, not that dry, craggly skin that you'll see on guys with low testosterone. And as I'm explaining all these things, picture the dude, right? Picture him standing in front of you. He looks like a chicken McNugget with tits, or he has a muffin top. He has thin thin, dry skin with creases through it. He has man boobs. Maybe his voice is high. He's apologetic. He supplicates. He doesn't have a strong frame. These are all signs of a man who's losing his masculinity, which of course is detrimental to both your health as well as attracting women. Number 3, thinning eyebrows, especially laterally. Laterally means across them. You can see just like thinning points, and they start thinning towards the end of the eyebrows, not so much in the beginning. But you start to see that this dude's eyebrows are basically non-existent. And this often happens with age, because what happens with age? Your testosterone is lowering, so you start losing your hair. You start losing depth in your eyebrows. And when a woman looks at you, these are the signs that she's looking for. And this is why I always say, what you look like doesn't so much matter. You don't have to be physically good looking, as in your face needs to have the perfect proportions and you need to look like you just stepped out of a GQ magazine, but you do need to look healthy, because health signs are signs of your testosterone. A high testosterone points to a high sperm count. It points to survivability, a good immune system, your good ability to procreate, and women are naturally attracted to that. As I say to you guys in seemingly every fucking episode, your attractiveness to women is based on your survivability. Your ability to pass your genes on to her children so that they too can survive, as well as your ability to possibly provide future resources, not present resources, meaning you think that she only likes you because of your money. It's future resources, which is why ambition is actually more attractive to a woman than the money that you currently have in the bank. Because think about it. If you were a trust fund baby, that doesn't point to your genes, does it? That points to a fall of luck that gave you money in the bank today, which is why, yes, we do occasionally get some gold diggers simply because that woman wants nice things in her life. But when it comes to unconscious attraction, she's way more attracted to a dude with ambition, confidence, and big dreams than a dude who has, say, $1 million in the bank, because it could have been a fall of luck. He could have gotten it from the lottery. She doesn't know what that was. She's attracted to your future resources as well as your ability to pass on good genes to her children. This too, boys, and this is really interesting, is why women will often be with a beta cuck, but go sleep with an alpha male on the side, because unconsciously she's trying to get his good genes to pass on to her children. And this often happens with chicks that are like 7s, right? Like, she's a moped, she's fun to ride, but you don't want to be seen with her. She marries a dude who she can get. Like, she's trying to get the best dude she can. She gets this guy who's kind of a beta cuck. He has low testosterone. He's got fat around the midsection. He's got dry skin with small lines. He's got receding eyebrows, as well as the other ones I'm going to tell you about. And then she sneaks out and in an opportunistic way sleeps with an alpha male in order to get his genes, and then she'll stay with the dude. You guys ever see that post on Instagram where there's like this white dude with his white wife and they have a black baby and he's all smiling? The implied meaning, of course, is the chick snuck away when she could to go have sex with an alpha male. In this case, it was a black dude. And then she had his baby, and now she's making the beta cuck raise it. And I'm sure that's happened more times than we want to admit, because when you're the alpha male, you have chicks throwing themselves at you all the time. And this too is why I always say 20% of dudes get 80% of the women, because 20% of the dudes have high testosterone. They have high confidence. They're highly ambitious. They have frame control. They're unapologetic. So 80% of the chicks want to sleep with them. And when you become that guy, which, by the way, I can help you become that guy if you join my 3-month coaching program, you get all the chicks. What I always say to my clients is you join the program and you start getting the fundamentals down. And in the very beginning, of course, you're not going to have any girls because you just fucking started. But there's always this point in the program where it's just like a pussy avalanche. Something clicks and they get it. Including in that, the NLP starts working its magic. And then suddenly they go from 0 girls to like hundreds of girls. And then I have to teach them the old spreadsheet method, which basically shows you how to manage all these chicks you're dating. Because 20% of the guys get 80% of the women. 20% of the guys can telegraph high value triggers, such as having high testosterone, having a strong frame that gets women attracted to them, because women unconsciously want your sperm to pass on to their children. By the way, the last two I have to share with you are absolutely awesome. You probably have never thought of this before, but you want to hear this. So make sure you stay tuned until the end because the last two are absolutely gangster. Before I get into those, boys, I want to read a quick testimonial from said 3-month coaching program. This is going to take 20 seconds, and then we'll continue on with the content. This is from my boy, Jeff. What is up, Jeff? If you're listening, you're a fucking legend. And he says this, Mark, your program has been a life-changing experience for me. When I joined your program, I had just exited a long-term toxic relationship. I had isolated myself from family and friends. I had high blood pressure. I was full of anxiety, and I was a recluse. A month into your program, my blood pressure was completely normal. I was at peace. No more anxiety, no more doubt, simply going out and loving life. And the icing on the cake, the girls. You have no idea what an impact you've had on my life. I know I'm just a client and I know you care about your clients, but bro to bro, you are a fucking saint. You don't create girl magnets, you create kings. I just cannot even begin to tell you how grateful I am for you or how much blessing you and your family deserve. I owe you in a way I cannot repay. So if you ever need anything, I'm there for you. You have changed my life. Jeff, thank you so much for that, brother. And this is what I do, boys. This is my purpose here, to change the lives of guys like you who are not getting the girls you want, who are not getting the success you want. I can give that to you if you would just apply. Click the link in the description below. Liam, make sure it's the first link at the top, please. Click that below, apply to the program. You and I are going to talk, and you're going to get on a free 1-hour breakthrough session with my partner, the legend, the girl magnet, Victor Lynch, who's going to see if we can 10x your results with women, as we do for every single client who comes into the program. Apply today. I'd love to meet you. All right, boys, back into the content. Number 4 is low mood and irritability. Let's be honest with each other, bro. How often are you irritable? How often are you frustrated? How often is your mood low? Or, as I mentioned at the top of the show, how often are you just kind of tired and need to take a nap in the middle of the day without caffeine? How many of you guys rely on caffeine or Monster energy drinks just to get you through the day? Honestly, bro, I'm just going to be straight up with you. If you need to rely on that shit to get through the day, there is a problem. I stopped drinking caffeine 8 months ago. I dialed in my diet as much as I possibly could. I got something called a methylation test that shows what I'm missing in my supplements. I got my supplement stacks completely dialed in. I don't need caffeine in any way whatsoever. I feel like I'm 18 again and I'm 48 years old because I've dialed in my diet. I have worked endlessly on NLP to dial in how I think so I'm not wasting energy on self-deprecating thoughts and stuff that isn't conducive to success. It all stacks up to make your testosterone what it is today. So if you have low mood, irritability, you get frustrated easily, or you're struggling with depression, brother, that could just be a chemical issue. It could be as simple as, wow, I need to fix my diet. I need to fix how I'm talking to myself. I need to fix my experience with women. I need to fix the entire unit so that I feel vibrant again, just like I did when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, when you were going for the fucking masturbation record with your Pornhub frequent masturbator platinum card, masturbating so often you were fucking rubbing the skin off your dick. I don't know about you boys, but I was in that situation at one time. And now that like my shit is dialed in, now that my testosterone is really high, I'm pretty fucking horny, man. I'm so horny I'd fuck a snake if I could hold it straight. Fortunately, I have a super sexy woman who I could fuck anytime I want. I have girls throwing themselves at me all the time, which I'm going to be honest, gets me pretty revved up as well. I want to give you that same power, boys. All you have to do is invest in yourself. You are the most important element that's going to dictate your future success. It's not going to come because you're lucky or because you prayed at your church, Our Lady of the Worthless Miracle. It's going to happen because you take proactive action. So if you have low mood, irritability, or you have low energy, could be testosterone, brother. Another sign that you have low test. The last one is poor circulation in hands and feet. If you see people with bruising in their hands, that's a sign of bad circulation. Those spider veins in either their hands or their feet, that's a sign of bad circulation, as well as their feet falling asleep or leg cramps is a big sign of poor circulation. Now, as I was sitting there fluffing my own feathers, bragging to you guys about how high my testosterone is, I will admit I have poor circulation in my legs and I'm taking active measures to try to improve that. So if any of what I said has made you feel down, just know, man, I'm in the trenches along with you. Not everything's perfect for me. Yes, not even my relationship. I have to work on it continuously. I have to work on my testosterone continuously. I have to work on my mental health because it's not always sunshine and roses for me either. But because I take steps to improve myself, because I'm willing to invest in myself and hire others to show me up the mountain, my life has gotten a lot better. I recently invested in a chiropractor because one of the situations I have is sciatica down my leg. I threw out my back trying to impress a girl about 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I herniated my disc. It's now pushing on one of my nerves, my sciatic nerve, I believe. And now a couple of my toes in my left leg are numb. So I hired this chiropractor, and I've been seeing chiropractors for years, man, and they never fucking help me. You go in, they adjust you, and then you leave, and 5 minutes later, you feel like shit again. So I go to this chiropractor. I read a bunch of reviews about him, and I go in there, and I'm like, yeah, right, bro. I know he's not going to be able to help me. So the first thing he does is take x-rays of me. He takes me in. He kind of looks me over, and he says, okay, here's your issue. This is the situation that's going on. I can see your L4 or whatever is out of place. You have a herniated disc. It's pushing on this. And you got this going on. So here's what I recommend we do. It's going to be 3 months. The first month, you're going to come 3 times a week. Second month, 2 times a week. Last month, 1 time a week. We're going to get you adjusted. We're going to give you these home routines. We're going to take pictures of you every month to make sure you're improving. And the way he mapped it out, I was like, yo, this guy's different from any other chiropractor I've been to. I used to go to the Joint and just walk in there. They crack my back a couple times and send me home and say, get lost, you fucking sea donkey. But this guy has a very systematic, proactive method. So dude, on the spot, I dropped $5,000. I was like, I believe in you, man. I see your testimonials. I can tell you really care about your clients. I think that he's the real deal. So I'm going to fucking do it. So right there and then, man, I give him 5 G's. I'm 2 months in, boys, and I feel 100 times better. My leg cramps are going away. My back feels a million times better. And when I look at him, it reminds me of my own program. It's not just another program where we give you information and we just send you on your way. It's a systematic approach where we're measuring you and showing you the way to improve. Measuring again. We're going to adjust this now. Measuring again. And riding along with you through the 3 months so that we show you how to get a constant stream of hot girls into your life that are going to get attracted to you because we're changing who you are deep inside to believe in yourself again. Just like that chiropractor is changing my spine to become healthy again, just like it was when I was a little kid. So I know a lot of you guys have been let down by dating coaches, or you think that you can get all the answers by being a podcast jockey. The truth is, sometimes it takes intervention and investing yourself in a big time way, risking it on you, betting on yourself, just like I did with this chiropractor. I was like, dude, I think we can do it. I'm going to do all the work he gave me. I believe in him too, and I'm going to bet on him as well as myself, and I'm getting the results. I want to give you those same results, boys. Do not hesitate. Do yourself a favor. Apply right now by clicking the link below. You and I are going to talk and see if I can do for you what I've done for all my clients, including Jeff. What did he say? I owe you in a way I cannot repay. That's what I want you to tell me after 3 months of working with me. And that's what I'm going to tell my chiropractor, Dr. Steinley, you fucking legend, fixing up my back. When you invest in yourself, when you do it intelligently, picking somebody who has your best interest in mind, just as I have your best interest in mind, you will get the results. So boys, let's go over the 5 signs again. Fat around the midsection, thin, dry skin and small lines, thinning eyebrows, especially laterally, low mood and irritability, and number 5, poor circulation in hands and feet. And I kind of threw in the bonus one, you going through your life needing caffeine to get you through the day, or you just dragging ass all the time, feeling tired, feeling out of it. That's a really bad sign of low testosterone. By the way, if you want to go listen to that other episode where I talk about how to boost your testosterone, I think it was like 7x your testosterone in a week or something like that. It's a really good one to show you how to boost that test and get girls more attracted to you. But more importantly, just feel better. All right, boys, I do appreciate you listening. I'll be looking out for that application, sending it right now while it's on your mind, and I will see you in the next episode.